Hey, what's going on everybody? Alex with you here again as usual. Thank you for dropping by for yet another video. Hopefully this time it's going to be a little bit short, but I've been having a lot of people comment on my videos saying if I could kind of make a summary video of all the different chest bags and chest carrying cases that I have. So therefore I decided, hey, why not? You know, if this is going to be a video that might be helpful to some of you guys, then by all means, it's not really going to take me any more time to make a summary video, so that people, especially out there that are looking for different types of chest carrying cases, might be able to make a little bit of a more informed decision. Plus, I got a new bag, and I'm going to be able to, with a lot of excitement, show it to you guys from House of Staunton. I picked up this full-sized, I think it's like a 22-inch carrying case for like a non-folded wooden board, and I've been wanting to get one of these. Honestly, I wanted to get like 5 or 6 of these, but I think they approximately retail for about close to $70. I'm going to shoot you guys a link in the description below and specify exactly what size this is, because when you go on the website for them, they will have given you the option of choosing different sizes. And I'll talk a little bit about why I believe you may particularly want to choose one size versus the other here shortly. But let me just go ahead and kind of make this summary video quick. I don't really have a lot of time today, so bear with me. I got all my boards, well, not all my boards, but some of my boards set out. As we've seen, if you have a roll-up board, whether it's vinyl, mouse pad, silicone, you are going to be somewhere in a situation where your board has the ability to be folded up one way or another. And most of the time, especially when it comes to mousepad boards, as we know, these mousepad boards kind of roll up in this particular way. So in the end, when you got your chest pieces and your chest board, it really doesn't occupy a lot of space by being folded like this. And a lot of times what I've seen is actually people will just put a rubber band around it if they don't have like a carrying case, but maybe not the best way to transport these kind of boards. So we've got, like, on the least expensive option, something like this. This is kind of a semi-rubber type of a baggie. I've shown this before. It's relatively inexpensive, especially considering that these are like mass-produced and really good for like scholastic purposes, especially if you have like a school or a big event where you need to order like hundreds of these. A lot of times these particular little baggies that are not super complex, they'll throw them in with the chest sets, so sometimes you'll be able to get a relatively good deal, like maybe like $20 for the chessboard chest set and the bag. So most of the time, if you're buying this particular bag separately, honestly, if you look around, you're probably going to be able to get one of these under $10. So a relatively good option for people that have some kind of a roll-up board. As I've said before, the way that you put your roll-up board is you roll it up really tightly as you can, and then you get over here, and underneath the actual compartment where you hold your chest pieces on top, underneath you have a lot of us have seen this particular design, but I'm kind of reviewing it for everybody. You slide your board down in here, and it sort of hangs out on both sides, so you don't have an over-the-shoulder type of a carrying strap as you see with some of the other bags, but you have a relatively nice strong handle here that kind of separates in two, so it makes it convenient, especially for kids who want to carry this to a tournament. They don't have to worry about all the different straps and having to put it over their shoulder. They can just grab this and go with it. It's a relatively inexpensive and practical option out there. Okay, so that's if you wanted something a little bit of a lower budget, but still doable. These type of chest bags we've seen quite a lot. This is kind of a more heavy duty type of material. These are awesome chest bags, and they'll last you for a very long time. They're not the same rubbery type of coating. And the cool part about this is that because they're so ubiquitous, you can get them in all kinds of different colors. As you can see here, this one is pink. And I got it for my daughter, and this is in fact my daughter's chess set, so she'll take it out periodically and play with the pieces. But the way that this one works, it has a zipper that goes all the way around, and you have really nice compartments here on both sides for the chess pieces, a central compartment here for like a chess clock and maybe a notation book, pencils. You've got an additional compartment over here. I'm kind of going quick through this, but I have made previous videos about all these chest carrying cases and everything, so if you would like a more detailed video, please be sure to check them out. I'll include the links below. And over here on the bottom, as opposed to the other one, where the other bag had your chessboard on the outside of the case and you could clearly visibly see it, this carrying case allows you to actually put the board on the inside of the case, so that when you close this up, it looks like, well, it looks like you have a carrying case for something. Maybe if it has some kind of a logo of a chess set, that'd be more clearly designated that it's not something that needs to be hidden. But these are great. These are great. These are very comfortable. They have the big strap here that adjusts for the height of the person. So if you're a tall individual, you can get it adjusted quite a lot to whatever height you need to make it comfortable. If you're a youth or a child, or you're looking for a bag for a kid, you know, you can adjust it to where it's going to be a lot smaller, like this. So that way, like even my daughter, she's not very big, and I can have it like this, and it'll still go over her shoulder and be very comfortable. So I like these overall. Like I said, you can get them in so many different colors and varieties. I've seen blue camo, regular camo. The blue camo's been sold out because it's just such a popular one, but it's a really nice one. Now, if you have a non-roll-up board, like if you have either a folding wooden board or some kind of a folding other board, there's always the option of doing some kind of a case like this. This case I've shown you guys way long ago, probably close to 2 years ago, when I shown you the House of Staunton fold-up board that I purchased. This is a great bag. It's from House of Staunton. It's got a lot of compartments. It's got the front compartment here that, well, technically, I mean, there's no extra compartments inside. But the cool part about this is that if you wanted to just roll up an extra board and throw it in here, for some reason you need an additional space for like a roll-up board, in addition to your other boards, this might be a space, or you can just throw in your like notation book here, whatever. It's great compartment in the front. Zips up on both sides. Zipper's like really nice and heavy duty. Then we go into the main compartment, which is where all the magic is. But right over here in the inside, it's got a nice padded compartment for your folding board. Once again, I'll shoot you guys a link to this particular case. And be sure to also pay attention to like the size measurements, because if there are options when you're buying these for you to choose different sizes, then you have to make sure that if you already have a folding board, that you measure your board and recognize what the size of the board is, so that you don't get a carrying case that might be a little bit too small, because then you have to return it and get a bigger one. So that's that. One thing that I really like about this particular bag is that these compartments for the chess pieces are actually like a lot more heavy duty and a lot bigger, actually a lot bigger than the compartments that were present in this. These compartments here are more kind of accommodating towards like plastic chess pieces, where you can clearly see, because due to the size of these, you can put in your largest chess pieces in there, even like a 4.4, and you'd be okay. And this is kind of what this particular carrying case is designed for. Honestly, it's designed for somebody who wants to play with more of like the classic approach. You know, clearly this is for a folding wooden board, so we are already kind of probably not going to be putting plastic pieces. But then again, everybody has a unique perspective on what kind of combination works for them best. So, and then in the middle here, you do have an additional little strap that you can actually detach. I'm not sure if I shown this in the previous video when I showed this board, but you have an actual strap like that gets Velcroed to here that actually has a little thing for where you can additionally roll up a board, which is really nice. So, and then you just put it back in here. So in case, maybe if you don't want to necessarily carry your fold-out board, or you want an additional board for analysis, or you just wish to have an additional board, this is kind of an all-accommodating pack, which is what I really like about it. You have these sort of Velcro things here, which I'm assuming could hold a clock in the middle here. You have little pen compartments on the back of this and a little name tag. So there's really, in my opinion, nothing missing from this particular design. And like I said, I'm not doing a thorough, all-inclusive video reviews today because it would take like 2 hours to do. but I'm just kind of running quick through some of the features that I particularly enjoy about all these bags. On top, you have a really nice sort of a rubberized handle that makes it really comfortable to carry this, especially considering the fact that with a wooden fold-up board, this might end up being a little bit heavier perhaps than this one. So it makes it to where everything's a little bit more comfortable to carry. And so the straps are made with like a little rubber thing as well, where in this one there's no little rubber padding. The padding isn't super soft, but it's got a grip on it so that if you put it on your shoulder of a jacket or something, it won't be slipping around back and forth. So overall, like I said, a very successfully made bag. I think this one retails for close to maybe $60, $70 somewhere. I'll shoot you guys a link below. On the bottom here, the nice thing is you also get these additional little rubber things that allow you to put this bag down kind of vertically, more or less, if you wanted it to do it that way. I honestly don't know what the best orientation is. I would just put it like this. I mean, why bother putting it vertically? And also the cool thing is that on the side, you got a little bottle compartment on one side that will allow you to carry like a bottle or an energy drink or whatever have you. And on this case, you have a little Velcro compartment that you can put stuff in here too, like pepper spray in case you're walking. After the chess tournament, it's already dark, which happens quite often because these chess tournaments are like 8 hours long. But yeah, you have something for maybe like a taser or a pepper spray or what have you, or maybe like a small sandwich, maybe. I don't know. Cool bag. Got everything pretty much that you would want, besides the fact that it can't carry a full-size board. Now this is kind of one of the bags for one of the electronic chess boards that I have. In fact, this is the bag that came with the chess up board. I do have my chess up board out because I test it out quite a lot and play around with it and play games on it. So at this time, I don't really see the need to put it back in the bag, but if I were to travel somewhere, then I would definitely use this. At this time, I'm using this to hold my laptop in here, and it works really well. The reason why I'm showing you this is not necessarily for you to be like, oh, this might be the best bag that I might need for my particular chess setup, so I'm going to need to go to chess up. I'm just saying that options are available out there to where it might be like in between something like this, or like this, depending on the size of the board. But this one's kind of cool. It's kind of got a more or less of a, it's a rectangular size, but it's closer to a square size, okay? And two handles on top, made really well because the handles over top have this fabric here. And that's kind of cool. On the inside, one of the things that I always liked about this particular, I know it's going to be kind of hard to see, but there's this sort of a velvety, soft feel on the whole inside of it, like the soft blankets sometimes that we purchase from the store that's got that soft, furry feel. You know what I mean? This really soft kind. And this goes great in order to like prevent your board from being scratched up. So this is one of the things that I really like about this bag and why I use this bag to carry my laptop around, because you can just throw your board in there and you don't have to worry about it getting scratched up or anything like this. On the front, we have an additional big compartment here that could hold your chess pieces, or it could hold maybe your book, your notation book. Anything you really need is going to be in here. Because this is for a board that's automatic, maybe they don't necessarily include like a chess clock compartment in here, because most of the chess timing things that are going to be happening, unless you actually need a physical chess clock, are going to be happening through your phone, through the board, so timing's already taken care of from that perspective. One of the problems with natural light, oftentimes when I do my recordings, is that the sun will go behind the thick cloud and all of a sudden everything gets really dark, and then it's just I have to restart this recording. But anyways, who is this board ideal for? Honestly, I think that, well, for electronic chess boards, for the chess up board, this is ideal since it's been made for the chess up board. But for anybody who's looking for a third-party bag of this particular size and dimensions, then I would probably say this might be ideal for people that would like to have a smaller board for like analysis purposes, or in general. I don't think this is not going to be big enough for like a 1.75, since I have a 1.75 board right here with me, and if we compare the size of the bag, this board is just not going to fit. It might fit partly, but I mean, and this is still okay if you want to do it like this. it's not made for that board, but it's still doable, okay? Like I said, because this bag's been made for chest up, that's the type of board that that's the type of bag that you would actually use for the chest up electronic board. But, you know, if you have some other small electronic board, I haven't reviewed the Pegasus, the DGT Pegasus, but I know that it's a little bit smaller than the DGT Centaur, and I'd be excited to know if the dimensions of this particular bag allowed for you to use the Pegasus. But then again, if you're going to get the Pegasus, then you're probably going to get the bag that comes with that particular board. But if you, like I said, if you got third party, this might be an option. This is great. You got two compartments here in the front that are both zip up for your pieces. They're not super big compartments, once again, because the chest up does have smaller pieces, but you could still manage to put a reasonably sized, maybe like 3.5 inch chest set here without really any problem, okay? And that kind of brings me to my final part of the video, and this is what I've been more or less excited about, but I actually wanted to kind of sort of make a video specifically for that bag. And that bag is the bag that I've been actually wanting to get for a while, like I said. But I decided to make it a kind of a comparison thing, so for people that are actually looking for different varieties of chest bags. Here we go. We have this bag. Now this bag's going to be on the thinner side, a little bit on the thinner side. A little bit fewer compartments on this particular bag than you would encounter with this one, because this one's kind of like an all-inclusive, a little bit thicker than the other one. This one's gonna be a little bit thinner, but definitely a big size difference. This one is specifically designed for you to either store properly or carry somewhere your chest boards that are going to be non-folding chest boards, sort of like this awesome board that I showed you guys previously. We have different kinds of boards here that I'm going to show you that hopefully will be helpful. Here's this board. The size of this particular bag is 22 inches, or at least it says 4 22-inch boards. That is kind of more or less like 2.3, maybe 2.25, somewhere in that range. I'm not sure if a 2.5 board will actually fit in here, but we'll take a look here closely, so that way this video is also going to be a little bit helpful for those who might want to save on space a little bit. On the bottom here, we do have like this single large compartment that goes all the way across, and it's got the zipper, and it just sort of opens up the same way. It's just got a little bit of less real estate, I guess, than this particular one. Well, arguably, they might actually be the same size. The very front compartment that really doesn't have a whole lot of anything in it. The very front one here that I've shown you guys, the same design sort of. It opens up, and then you can put your like notation book in here. I don't know, you can throw some stuff in here. You can throw a sandwich in here. If your tournaments are extra long, you could, I don't know if food is allowed at these tournaments, but you could put it in like a Ziploc bag and kind of take your food with you. There's got this little single central compartment in here that we open up, and we see that it's for your chest clock, because it's got this midsection rubber band here that helps to secure some kind of a DGT or something. It's sort of large enough probably for you to have like a DGT 2500 or a DGT 3000, but you can also fit a smaller clock in here, maybe an analog one or what have you. Whatever clock you have will probably fit in here. And because of the little rubber band in the front, it'll stay in here relatively snugly without really any issues. Then we're moving upwards, and you have this sort of a small zip-up compartment. It's really not that much space in here. The inside of it is not padded, but I'm assuming you can throw like pens in here. It might be big enough for like a notation book, but probably not. If it's a small notation book, then maybe. But it's, yeah, it's an additional compartment, which is kind of really nice. You don't have any compartments on the back. You do have the two straps on the top, one from the front, one from the back, right over here. It doesn't look like we have the shoulder strap, okay? But then again, if you're gonna carry this across your shoulder, it might not necessarily be comfortable. So considering that it's already so big that I have to kind of hold it up to show you guys the full dimensions of it, it might not be comfortable for you to throw this over your shoulder. So maybe, because I don't even see that like the other one had the shoulder compartments and it had the separate strap on the side. here that we know it's meant to be thrown over your shoulder. This one doesn't even have that strap on the sides. It just has the 2 straps on top. So as far as like the amount of details that is in this bag, it's going to be definitely less than this one. On the very top, we have this really large zip compartment that allows you to, that's it. There's just space inside that's padded. I like the fact that it's padded. It's nice and soft. And I also like the fact that it opens up not just from the very top, like some cases do where they just open from the top, but it allows you to really open this up almost halfway, as you guys can see here. Why did they do it? I feel like they did it so that it's easier for you to get a good grip on your board, so you're not just gripping the edge of the board, but you can actually grip the sides of the board as you're taking it out, okay? So, that's it, okay? That's it, and you might ask me, where do the pieces go? I think the pieces are meant to go in here. Definitely not in here because this compartment's way too small. This compartment's meant for a chest clock. But if you're not having a chest clock, theoretically, you could throw some of your pieces in here. But because there's no other compartments on the front or the back besides like this bottom one, I think this is where your pieces are meant to go, like right here. Because there's no compartments on the inside. The only thing that there is kind of medium-sized padding, and that's it. There's no compartments anywhere else. So I'm assuming this is where you keep your chess pieces. Not as safe as maybe this particular bag, because this particular bag had the chess pieces on the inside, covered and protected by the fold-out board. So if you guys can see here, we had the board on this side that closed and protect your pieces, and then the pieces themselves had 2 separate compartments here. That was kind of nice. It was a really nice, successfully made bag. Whereas in this case, it does not have that separation. If you're planning to put your chess pieces on the bottom here, then you don't get an actual separation. So all the pieces go in here, which is not terrible. And they do give you enough real estate here for you to put all your chess pieces. But it could have had 2 separate compartments, and those compartments could have been designed differently to where maybe they were a little bit more padded. Like this is padded, it's just not as ideal. But why would you want to get this board? It's so that you can take a chess board like this and you can safely put it in here, okay? So you open this up and you position it like this, and we've got the chess board in here. Then you zip it up. That's the biggest selling point to this particular carrying case. That's it. You got a padded compartment. You got a padded storage option for your board. A lot of my chess pieces, a lot of my chess boards are just out and about. I don't have a good way of storing it. This will protect your board. If you got kids with toys or dogs with teeth or cats with claws or whatever, and your boards are just sitting somewhere in plain sight, there might be situations where things could potentially get damaged. But because you cover this up, it provides that extra layer of protection. So even if you're the type of person who only takes their board out at home, plays exclusively at home, it might still make sense for you to get a bag like this so that you can keep your chessboard protected. Now, this board right here, it's not super big, but it fits in here with just a little bit of space. If you have a 1.75 board like this, you could still get this type of a bag, but you might be able to choose an option that's a little bit smaller, because this is a pretty big bag. But in my opinion, if you have several boards, you might want to just get the one that's for the biggest board, and if you can always just put in the smaller board in here, and then that'll be okay. I wouldn't suggest putting 2 boards at the same time because they could get scratched up. But like I said, if you have extra boards, you may want to just consider getting it for the biggest board. That way you'll save yourself some money. This is the Droiki style board that I've shown you guys recently from Sakis Tsiopkas wood from Greece. This board's a little bit on the bigger side, but we can see that, well, no. Actually, no. It almost closes, but it doesn't quite close. It doesn't quite close. So that being said, this board's made a little bit bigger, even though it's a 2.25 square inch board, and I was getting ones. That's why it's so important, if you have a board, get the full measurements of this board before buying the case, and get the case that's going to be bigger than your measurements. Otherwise, it might not work out. In this case, sideways it went in. It was like really tight. On top, we got these extra corners here, and no matter how much I pack it in there, they won't go over, my zipper won't go over the corners. I have like almost an inch extra. So I'm assuming this 2.5 inch elm burl bird's eye maple behemoth right here is not going to fit in here. But we'll try it anyways. Let's see. No, I don't think it'll fit. Yeah, I don't think it'll fit. Let's see. No, we got a little extra space here on the side. It just won't fit. So, like I said, if you have anything bigger than a 2.25 square inch board, you would have to get a bag that's specifically for that particular size. Lastly, and kind of one of the reasons why I ended up buying this case in the first place is this is the Chestnut Pro board, and I wanted to see if it's going to fit into this baggie, because I did not get the bag specific for this particular board, and yeah, it'll fit. This is pretty much the reason why I bought this particular one for the Chestnut Pro, and I'm happy to see that it fit. I'm going to be able to store my pieces here, because up until this time I didn't have a bag that could protect my pieces, and now that I do, I'm super happy. And yeah, now I can have it, because I've been keeping it inside the box because I wanted to keep it protected, so whenever I'm not playing, I'm keeping it in there. So now I got a board. I'm really excited. Let me know what you think about all these bags. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and comment below. Let me know if you have any other suggestions, or if you have other bags that you're also excited about or have questions about. Please let me know. Hit that like button, subscribe to my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Bye-bye.